Yeah.
Charlie Creek, Anacorda, area check, multiple work crews in the area, unable to locate back in Charlie.
Look at this.
Kathy.
That thing is gorgeous. Do.
I'm back in service. Lots of,
Hello, sir.
How you doing?
Not too bad. How can I help you today?
Well, you probably heard about Susan.
I'm more than familiar.
Okay, so she's been driving everybody nuts. She's following people everywhere. So I go to leave for work. There's a van blocking my whole driveway. I'm like, what the hell's going on now? So I go and talk to the guy. I think he just had the wrong address, but I wouldn't
Probably that guy there.
Nah, it's a gray Dodge Sprinter or whatever.
Okay.
But I think it was innocent. But at the same time, she's walking her dog, so I'm thinking, what's she up to now? So I start going down the street, and I see her walking, so I come back. I'm just like, what the hell? So I'm sitting in my truck, minding my own business. She walks by real slow, like she always does. She gets down there. I pull out. I go to pass her. There's a pool truck on the right, so she's walking down the middle of the road. So I'm waiting until she gets past that, and then I go around her. Didn't do anything, didn't honk, didn't rev the engine, nothing.
Right.
I look in my mirror, and she goes like this. She's got a gun tucked in her pants.
She didn't pull it out or point it at you or anything like that, or
No, but she
okay.
made
She did brandish
She
it.
made a point of brandishing it.
Threat.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, she's been threatening everybody around. I want her arrested. We can't. Everybody around here this is insane.
They know what's going on.
Dan's an ex-police officer. He's losing his mind over
Yeah, I
it.
know there's 3 cases involving her right now that the police department is currently looking at. In the state of Florida, brandishing a firearm is a misdemeanor, so she will not be going to jail today, but I will be going down there to talk to her. Do you get your driver's license? I know your name's in our report, but I've never actually talked to you personally, so.
I mean, this has got to stop. The next time she's
Yeah,
gonna
honestly,
pull it.
I don't know how long this is going to go on or what we're going to end up having to do with her to get it to stop, because I do know that everyone, well, not everyone, but there are obviously more neighbors than just you guys who
There's
are
a
having
lot
an
down
issue
in El
with her.
Cerrito that haven't even called you guys that are complaining. Yeah, I mean, it's just getting out of control, and now she's escalating it.
Are you aware of her falsifying, or putting something on Nextdoor yesterday?
I'm sorry, what?
She put the guy that just filed the most recent report, Tim Gibbons. She snapped a picture of him, put it to be somebody on Nextdoor, created a false name,
Richard Heads, dickhead.
and put his face, and then put our pictures that she stole, I guess, from Facebook somehow, because I have a block from Facebook on how she got it. Put a whole recording of me talking to Officer Gross and Chris talking to Officer Gross.
About the first
about the
incident.
first
wasn't it?
incident that she had gone down there
So
about.
it's
she
all
is-
on
So I
next
don't know
door.
how they're
Harbor Place.
Yeah, I'll have
I
to
mean,
look on next, or what is it,
it's
next door?
already off, but I
Oh,
recorded
is it?
everything.
So she put a
with my
picture of
phone,
Tim
'cause I
up
knew
that
going
she
down.
videotaped with all these Nazi symbols and everything. That's
Yeah.
why it got pulled
Yeah,
down.
unfortunately, that's not going to be a crime because there used to be a person in Punta Gorda. He was a outspoken
Activist.
individual
Yeah, with the
against law
signs.
enforcement, and he actually, on his YouTube channel, actually put several cops, including myself, personal addresses on his
I don't
email.
understand how that's legal.
And yeah, well, unfortunately,
Well, the whole recording was there, pictures of us two, and then down below she did the videotape. She videotaped him when she went and stalked them at their house 2 times.
Yeah.
The morning of.
pretty much how this is going to end is she's going to put herself. She's going to end up doing something that is a felony crime.
Well,
And then
we're
at that
trying to
point,
avoid
she's
that.
yeah. I'm trying to avoid that
Yeah,
too.
Yeah, I
End
don't
of
want
the
to
gun.
die over this.
This is
and
why we've been calling.
No, yeah, and
My store and stalked me at my
and you
store.
need to call every single time because there needs to be.
Now I called the non-emergency number. Should I have called 911? Does
Yeah,
it matter?
doesn't really matter.
Because it's not even, she's not even gonna get in trouble for it. She's gonna get this.
I mean,
Just
this
like
is
everything else she does.
disturbing. I mean.
What's a good phone number for you?
looked at our cameras.
You didn't get it on camera, her brandishing it, did
No,
you?
she was just past her
Can I ask
house.
a question? Is it possible to ask her to make her show you her? Because she said
She has
because
cameras.
of us,
It could
which
very
we
well
did
be on
nothing
her
for.
cameras.
I had to put $1,000
No,
worth of
the only
cameras.
way that we
She
would
told
get
the police
access
that.
to her cameras is with a search warrant.
Okay.
Okay. We've asked a neighbor across the street if he had anything, but he's not. He didn't answer.
Well, I
either.
looked in the mirror because what she typically
So
does.
you were heading back towards
Yeah.
Tropicana,
Yeah, I was going.
and
west.
then you
usually
looked in
wave or
your
give
you
us
looked
a
in your
finger.
rearview mirror.
'Cause I knew she was gonna flip
was
me
she,
off or
was
do
she on the
something.
roadway then?
Yeah,
when
she
that
was in the
happened?
middle of the road, 5 feet off the curb. I had
Okay.
to try and drive around her.
Did you see,
And then
see if anybody else was around
I
in
didn't
the
see
video? I'm gonna
anybody.
look and see if anybody
But I
else
looked at,
witnessed it.
expecting her to flip me off like
Were
she
you
usually
100%
does.
sure it was a gun?
Yeah, it was black and silver. It was right on her waistband, and she pulled her shirt up, like a gang thing. Like,
Right.
look what I got. I mean, I've seen it enough.
It's a
I'm
black,
from Detroit.
black and silver gun.
It looked like it had silver from what I could see. I was probably 20 feet ahead of her, but she was definitely showing me that she had a gun. And she is very unstable, and
They
this
know
is
this.
ridiculous.
They know
I
this.
mean, if she's going this far now, the next step is she is going to shoot somebody and claim self-defense. or
Charlie
something.
2, Punta Gorda case number.
This is ridiculous.
Just let them tell you what-
I know. I'm just
I know you're upset, but there's nothing.
I'm very
not-
upset.
they
Did you tell
can't-
if it was a revolver or a semi-auto?
semi-auto. Right, like Glocks are all black. I don't. It looked like it had a silver stripe. Maybe I'm not sure, but it was mostly black, but
Maybe
like
some of
silver.
the house, maybe someone has footage. If Dan moved his cameras finally, because she was harassing him, maybe he moved them enough where he can see her. In situation gets home.
Yeah, so in a situation like this, with it being a misdemeanor, obviously when misdemeanors occur, we actually have to see them happen for us to arrest, but what we would do is send the case to the state attorney's office for a warrant request, but that would obviously be if we get in touch with one of the neighbors and they do have camera footage of her lifting the shirt or something along those lines to be able to send it through for that warrant
What's to the
request.
right of her? Is there a way to check?
Like I said, I'll check every single house that has
Yeah,
a.
just to the right
has
of
a
her,
camera.
with the Lexus.
I know she has $1,000 worth of cameras because she told
So
the police that.
she was would she have been facing the direction of Tropicana?
Yeah,
then?
yeah,
Okay.
she was facing that way. She was walking with her back to me in the middle of the street, so I had to
Was
wait.
she walking her dog?
Yeah, oh yeah, she likes to try and intimidate people with her dogs.
Hold on to that.
Okay.
Just for every single officer that comes out, every single incident that takes
Collect those cards.
collects those cards, because what those cards can ultimately be possibly at some point is either if we build a harassing case against her, you guys end up getting a restraining order against her, something along those lines. Just hold on to those. And I know it seems like the police department isn't doing anything, but we have to follow the law and we have to work our
Right.
cases
I
through.
understand.
So sometimes it just takes a
Right,
while.
right. We do have a no trespass on her, and the same day she got it, she walked right across our front lawn and had.
Yeah, I know
trespass.
she has a trespass warning for your yard, but not the right of way, unfortunately. And I was the one who talked to the city in reference to that. And the only way that she can be trespassed from the right of way, which is from the telephone pole to the roadway, would be if a judge approved the trespass
And
warning.
she
I
knows
can't
that.
do it. Yeah, she knows it.
That's what she did to Tim Gibbons. She was.
Yeah.
We talked to a legal aid person after that incident when they were attacking him verbally down at the end of our street, and also about her doing that. And they said, if you have a no trespass law, this is the guy from legal aid from Charlotte County. We had a free session available to us because there was an incident.
Right.
It took like 2 weeks, but we finally got to talk to him. He said, if you have a no trespass against her, that dog is tethered to her. She's taking that dog on your property. That dog is her walking on your property.
Yeah, as long as it's on your property and not the right of way. From what I understand, she's
But
always
she
been
was on
on
our
the right of
lawn.
way.
She let the dog come on the lawn. He said that dog is basically her on your lawn. That's what the legal aid guy told us from Charlotte County.
So that
That's-
was
that's-
that what? When did that occur?
That was the day.
The day she got the trespass. She makes
She
a
still lets
point
them
of
come on
every
the
time
lawn.
you
It's
tell
a
her you
joke.
can't do this,
She
she
doesn't
makes
care.
sure she does that. I mean,
Yeah.
She's doing it just as a needling thing. She knows what somehow she knows what she can get away with. But that, according to the legal aid guy, that her taking that dog on that lawn, that's like her walking on the lawn.
Yeah, was that after she was issued the trespass
Yes,
warning
yes.
or before?
That's why we told him, and he said that there's no way, because that easement thing doesn't apply. If that dog's on your lawn, that's her.
So
She can get trespassed off.
was that brought up to Officer Gross? Did you guys
Yeah.
inform him of that?
Contacted him several
She
times.
called
He
him
was supposed to call me
yesterday. He was supposed to call her back, and he never did.
So I don't know
So I don't know.
what's
Okay.
going on.
Yeah, I know. I didn't work yesterday, but I know Lieutenant Lipker is looking into this case
Yeah.
with Officer Gross.
Right. I know he's been
So,
involved a lot.
yeah, I'm not sure which direction they're going with that. But as for today, I'll be looking into this case, and then
Yeah, she's
I'm gonna go
definitely
down.
escalating big time. She's not.
Well, that's usually what happens in these situations. They start
Well-
off small, and then it continues
Right.
until they do something that that is arrestable. You know.
Well, I don't want it to be that someone's at the end of her gun.
Yeah, well,
for
I
that
don't,
to happen.
I don't want that either. But my suggestion would be to you is if you're leaving the residence or whatever, and it's a pain, and I apologize that you have to do this, but if you're leaving the residence and you see her on the street, just automatically take your phone out and press record.
Why does that sound familiar?
You know,
I know.
Just-
I was
just-
already past.
Just
you
do
know.
it because
I do it every time.
Usually she does that to us. Every time
yeah,
she
Well,
stands
no,
at the end of
now
the driveway.
This is her standard. She films everybody that's connected to us that she has a problem with. The Gibbons, Dan and his wife, us. She filmed him. And one night she's standing in the dark, right at the end of this driveway across the street, in the dark. He didn't even know she was there. He's
filming
wheeling-
me taking the trash out. So
She's wheeling the
she
garbage
films
cans
everything.
down.
Every
She's
move.
sitting there with the dog. I didn't know until later on. I went and looked at her camera footage. She's standing there in the dark with her camera like this and the dog in front of her like this, not saying words, in the shadows. She's taking the garbage down so that she's
yeah,
she's
and in
still
a
sitting there quietly
situation
doing it.
like that too, if you see her out there, just
disturbing.
automatically
I have
get your
video of it. I have all of-
get
I
all
have all
that
of it.
because that'll end up helping along
I
with
have all of
the
it. I
with the
save everything. I
harassment
send
and
it to
or
myself with the title, so
restraining order in the
very
future.
Right. Well, like I said, now she's going on next door trying to destroy our businesses.
Yeah,
I mean,
because
that's
they all know. Everybody knows our
90% of my
business
work
from
is
there.
all from next door. It's all referral work.
So-
Yeah.
And I've got customers calling me yesterday.
And those is, so as far as like the filming out there in the public areas and the next door stuff, in and of those, in and of each individual instance, those are not necessarily illegal. It's the case that we have to build.
Right,
combine
right. No,
those.
I get it. I'm
Because
just
you can technically record whatever you want, whoever you want from the public right away, as long as it's not essentially a private area, meaning she didn't have to jump a fence to, or you know,
Right.
or a
Right,
fence
right.
to see you, that kind of thing.
Right.
You know, as far as next door goes, it is a public forum of sorts.
right.
The her hurting your business, that's a civil type
Yeah.
thing versus a criminal
Right.
kind
Right.
of issue. Like I said, all those things combined eventually will maybe turn into.
How,
like you
how
said,
did she
harassment
get a hold
type
of
thing.
us talking to Officer Gross in the vestibule of your place?
Well, if her name was in the report, then all she would have to go to the police department. She would have done a records request, and the police
But
department
is she
would have.
allowed to put that out to the whole world? Are we giving out names, addresses,
Well,
birth,
there-
date of birth?
Pretty
Why
much
is that
the
allowed?
Most
As
important
long-
stuff, everything is public record.
Yeah, as long as it's not an open investigation with the city, which I don't think it is
an
at this
open
point in time.
investigation, isn't it?
An open criminal investigation. I don't know what the other cases are doing right now.
Okay.
So
Well, she did the same thing to Tim. Somehow she got that magically the same day. She had his posted, or his wife calling.
well, I know
Cops
I know
posted the
she's
same
come to the
day.
police department all the time
Yeah.
for record requests,
Right.
and I know she's done the same with the city because the city also has ongoing
Yeah,
investigations
code
in reference
enforcement.
to
Every
the.
time I'm here with my work van, she takes pictures and calls them. And
Yeah.
it's insane. I mean,
That's
Yeah,
there's no
it's
quality of
unfortunately
life here.
it's unfortunately it's just going to be an ongoing thing. That example I said where the guy put my information on YouTube.
Right.
That case I think was worked on for a year before there was actually a criminal case put together. So, you know, it's
I think it's attorney time.
yep.
News. Whatever. Whoever we have to call. But this is
Yeah.
going to stop. And it's not going to be with her shooting either of us.
Yeah,
If I
well,
can help it.
yeah.
So if it has to be an attorney or it has to be the Channel 7 News, I don't care. But that's going to stop.
Yeah.
She's not
Well-
going to goad us into doing something. I know what she's doing. We're very aware. All the neighbors are aware of what she's doing.
She's trying to get somebody to lash out so she
Well,
can.
she's
We don't know.
she's
We-
gonna
this
she's
is
gonna
something.
she's gonna ultimately dig herself a hole, and
She
and
already
it's
is.
gonna
Yeah.
bite her. So it's just gonna take time. That's all.
All right.
Just like I said, have your camera ready, and if you see her, just automatically record. If she does nothing, she does nothing.
Right.
But chances are she's going to do something, so at least you'll have it on video.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
All right.
Well, the chances
Well,
are
she did it
that
once. I'm sure she'll do it again.
Dan went across the street may have camera footage.
Yeah, I'll drive
Never
them down
answered.
and see if anyone has
Persons are
camera
right.
footage. You know.
I don't think she does, but the
She
person's
was
her right
probably around her driveway or just past when she did
because
it.
she knows she's
Okay.
out of range of our cameras. That's probably
Okay.
why she did it there too.
Yeah, I'm
So
gonna
I
run
wouldn't
down.
be able to get
I'm
her.
gonna walk over there and see what she has to say.
Okay.
I'm sure I did something, I'm sure.
Y'all have a good day.